unknown with everything that's going on. So I don't. I think it was, as we saw, like the run up this morning, right? Like, I mean, the writing was on the wall for that from the very beginning, and I was just slowly but surely waiting to slap that long buy. Um, but we also knew that there was going to be some resistance above it. I think that ultimately what happened was, they anticipated this news, and last time, if you think about it, there was big tariff news. We had a what, $19 billion liquidation, right? So in a single freaking trading event. So I think while a lot of people are expecting this to be a pump, um, I think we're going to be looking at another massive liquidation, because people are like, finally, okay, this stuff bottomed out, it's there, but I don't think we're there yet. And I think that's while the market and everyone is excuse me, while everyone's watching this kind of pump happen, they're going to be trying to take advantage of it, thinking that this news is obviously going to be helpful, only to get liquidated back down before they decide then that it's gonna be a run. But biggest thing for me, honestly, is that it just shows that there's continued volatility, and the chaos that's been happening in crypto lately is not over. It literally, in my opinion, this just makes things even more chaotic, and I think it gives them more of an opportunity to try and take the money out of our pockets and put it back into theirs.
Yeah, man, you nailed it with the volatility. It I'm looking at the chart.
You're echoing,
You're
bro.
echoing, bro.
Maybe my computer
Maybe
is picking it
computer
up.
is picking it up.
No, I think it's Massimo's mic. I think Massimo's picking
I'll,
me up.
I'll mute. I'll mute for a second. Sorry, I'm just connecting back to Wi-Fi. Muted.
But no, you nailed it with the volatility. I mean, just watching the chart as we're talking, it was like they knew we started trade talk. That I think they had to hit up Restream and be like, knock them off the air. They're gonna let people get shorts in too quick. We gotta run it down real quick, and they took it all back in like a couple 1 minute candles there. But yeah, the volatility has been crazy with it. And you are right. We did have a huge liquidation day last time, and that might be what we see again this time. And who knows, maybe they just allowed people to get just bullish enough, and this news kind of seems tricky bullish, but I don't know, based on like everything I'm seeing, it's not really that bullish, because I don't think the tariffs are really going away. I just think this is just being like, well, technically you didn't do it the right way, so you got to go back and try again. Good to hear from you, Massimo. I know you're probably on the move and
No,
bouncing
sorry
off.
guys, I was just getting back on Wi-Fi, but I'm here. Yeah, no, I think they're going to use this to their advantage, and I think we see another multi-billion-dollar liquidation event happening, starting today.
I love it. I love it. Man, I was patiently waiting for that 2 hour 200. I thought that's where I was just gonna size in, but man, maybe the spot was the 1 hour, I guess. But we'll see. We'll see here. Let's check in with the homie Alex. I think we still got Alex in here. I can't even see who's on the panel on here. I don't think. Yeah, I can't. I gotta go on my other account too. But Alex, you around? What are your thoughts on this news?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I made it back after our liquidation of Trade Talks, man. But yeah, I kind of think it's like Massimo was saying, it's already like baked in, man. It's been baked in maybe for a couple of months now, So yeah, I would have thought we'll be. Yeah, they've been making sure they liquidate everything. I've just been watching the Soul chart and the CME, man. And we just keep bouncing off those 200 and 100. It's been pretty easy to fucking play, to be honest. But yeah, what are your thoughts, man?
I do think we're going to see a volatile weekend here in both directions. I don't think they've ate up all the upward liquidity yet. So I think there's going to be opportunity. This little pullback might actually, you might be right. Like, just looking at the 15, it did wick off the 200. So it could just, we could just ping, back and forth, here for a little bit. But dude, I'm in the boat that people are going to get over bullish with this tariff news, and they're going to let it get just bullish enough to wreck people. So I'm not changing anything, man. Like I said, this just seems more like a procedural error, and not something that's going to make these tariffs go away.
We got Hermit that just joined up here.
I just wanted to say hello, everybody. I'll probably rug in like 3 minutes, so I'm going to say what I have to say about the tariffs. I'll second, third, what everybody else said. I think the prices were already baked in. If you watch the news drop, like I was on my stream when I saw the post saying that it had happened, I had already missed, and I would say massive pump. It was a $3 pump or something like that. Um, I don't know what it is now because I'm at work. I'll have to look. But I noticed it pumped, it dumps. I did get a quick, tiny short in. It was a late short, later than it should have been, but I was just like, whatever. And I still ended up profitable, very tiny amount. So, because I was actually looking at Novex when I was doing it and all that stuff. So I figured I'd showcase some of the Novex stuff. But I, they were talking about this a while ago. This is what Trump did was one way to do tariffs. Um, there are plenty of other ways to do tariffs. The only reason Congress is upset about it is because they, technically, are they supposed to be the ones doing it? Sure, but the fact of the matter is we've been become completely, uh, obvious that uh, getting them to actually accomplish anything is difficult. Except for when one side is doing it, they'll just ram through anything and everything, regardless of how it's supposed to be done. The other side, not so much. So I guess it's one of those deals. Just yeah, like there's more to come. Trump's already just sitting there saying, you know what, I've already, they've already have a plan. It's not like they didn't have a plan. If they knew any of this stuff was going to happen, they would have already had a plan. So I think it's just one of those deals. Most people probably should just read through or have AI give you a summary of what the Supreme Court justices said, um, just so you can get a summary. Because I'll guarantee you, I I probably wouldn't understand some of what they're saying, and you're going to be diving deep into previous cases in terms of it's like Supreme Court or court cases and all that other stuff. So, um, volatility ahead. Be careful. See green, take green. Don't try to be a hero. All of that stuff. And be smart with your money. Practice good risk management. That's what I got to say.
See green, take green is always the rule around here, baby. And risk management is the rule everywhere. But but yeah, kind of like you said, Hermit. Like there's other ways to get these tariffs, and it was just procedurally flawed, probably from the beginning. Is what it sounds like. But I don't know. It just seems like in the dissent that Kavanaugh laid down, is he pretty much laid out how they can go about it correctly.
Well, and my thing is it's just like, okay, why is everybody so against tariffs when I try to hear the excuses, or not excuses, the arguments, um, as to why people are like so against it. Most of the time, it has something to do with, oh well, something's going to cost extra. Are you willing to pay extra for whatever? Because it has to be produced here, or something like that. I I don't I don't know how to say it. Yeah, sure, whatever. Like, prices of everything have already gone up. And when COVID happened, everybody was freaking out about how we were going to get some of the stuff that we wanted to get or something like that. They're like, well, if this is done and this is shut down and this is shut down, how the heck are we supposed to get this stuff? Because we don't produce it here anymore. There was a time when we did, but we don't anymore. So what now? And that didn't happen too long ago. And so the whole point of the tariffs, and this is my belief, my argument. Whole point of the tariffs is to bring manufacturing and all that stuff back to the U.S. Like that was it. Um, the fact of the matter is like I said, a lot of people seem to forget there wasn't too long ago. There was a time when we were freaking out. Where are we gonna get all of our masks for everybody who loved to wear masks and all that stuff? How do we get all of our masks? All the masks are produced overseas. How do we get all these drugs? All these drugs are produced overseas. Well, the whole point of the tariffs was to try and reverse some of that and bring it back over here. Um, is there more to the tariffs than all of that? Yeah, sure. But for me, the biggest thing is like bringing it back to where we don't have to worry about it. We need to have. I'm a big fan of self-reliance. Obviously, yes, there's times when you need to ask for help, but I am a big fan of self-reliance. And if if we can't produce something just because it's cheaper to produce it somewhere else, then like I just doesn't make any sense. Some sort of ability to be able to do the things that you need to get done in case things go bad, and they did. So that being said, I will land my little random. Actually, it's not a little random plane; it's a big random plane because I'm a giant. So at least that's
Exactly.
the lore. If you're not
Well,
familiar
Hermit,
with it,
before you bounce
so
out and while we have you, did you happen to see the update on the app? I fixed a lot of those things that you had sent me the video on. Obviously, there's still some more fixes to go, but give me a little review, dude.
so I was able to go through some of the things. I didn't like re-update the cache or something. There were certain things that were fixed, and most of them were just like cosmetic fixes. So it wasn't like anything crazy. I try not to do anything that like I try to do some sort of operational security. So I try not to reveal too much. So I wasn't able to see if it like showed like the wallet connect, like if the wallet was connected or whatever. I didn't necessarily re-log in again, but yeah, some of
Okay.
the stuff he fixed. It's a good platform. Like people need to go look at it. People need to get ready, and it's a good way to. And I like just did a trade this morning, so I'll have to go look to see if it like registered on there. And that's kind of what I was looking for. Yeah, most of it,
Right.
dude. It clearly lays everything out. Like if anybody has any question in terms of like, well, how do I get my XP? How do I get this? Well, it basically it straight up says what you can do to get to increase your XP to get better. So like there shouldn't be
So,
any questions as to how to actually do everything. If that makes sense.
okay.
I like it. And anybody else who doesn't, I don't know. They can
It is what
go
it is,
pound
right?
sand. Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, the back end checking, the all that is 100% working.
Okay.
So,
Perfect.
that, yeah. So, like, you won't miss out on XP and trading and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
obviously, I'm
No,
just kind of, yeah, no, it was cool. I'm glad you enjoy
yeah.
it, my brethren.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm going to go back over it. And honestly, if anybody else has something they find, like don't just sit there and not say something. See something, say
Right.
something. Like be like, hey, go into the TG and be like, hey, take a screenshot, circle what needs to be fixed, and explain it or whatever. I did a video. I just got to do the video That's what I was saying. It's quicker for me to do the video than it is to take screenshots, thing, and then like it was just easier for me that way.
Got it. So you were starting to rug there. All right, Hermit. Hermit. Yeah, you started rugging pretty bad there towards the end, Hermit. Not sure if you can hear me. Oof. Rugging them daily, rugging them raw. My name is Hermit. Yo, Hermit, you started rugging after that, but thank you, bro. Do you feel that this is something that you're going to be able to use, Hermit, in companionship with your trading? I don't think he could hear me. Dang. How about the rest of you guys? Who's checked out the app? Any feedback? No?
Man, I think it's great for just like, looking through with my friend here, just going through and just being, all right, these are your milestones, and this is, like kind of Herman. I didn't even notice actually until Herman pointed out the discounted fees that you can earn and stuff. So like that's cool. I missed that part actually.
Yeah, there's obviously what I'm working on doing this as was, in business, it's really hard to establish business partners, right? I have suffered really badly in Web3 trying to nail down partners. People that have equal alignment, people that want to see the exact same things you do. That just has not been my strong point. It's and obviously I don't think many people have that. It's not like, oh, it's just easy, right? To just go and find great partners everywhere. The divorce ratio is nasty in the world. So is the amount of businesses that go under. So to find healthy partners, it's extremely difficult. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Oh, dude, it's one of the hardest things in business. It's not. Yeah, it's probably the hardest thing in business. I'd say like next. Like the only thing harder is hiring great talent, but finding a business partner that you can really ride with and trust is the hardest, I think.
Right. And in Web3, there's so many moving parts. People have their own families, their own lives, their own IRL jobs, businesses, friendships, you name it. So it's not fair to expect people to have a partnership with me that's the same, or to the level that I would want it to be. So when I created this app, it really just came down to the one thing that mattered for me, which was, dude, partners are falling off like flies. I short, people long, I long, people short. It's nasty. Well, now I'm going to really do something different. And what the summary is, Andrew, is that this app here is meant to now find me business partners without the source. Trust me, bro. There's no more of that. It won't matter. The proof is in the trades. The proof is in the back end, the API and the tracking, which I've built perfectly. That I will say is my greatest work to date. Well, I mean, I would say my greatest work actually is what level of trader that I became. Okay, that let's not sugarcoat that. It's extremely hard to become a freaking profitable trader. So anyway, so this app is now meant for people like all of us. Those that trade and those that show up, those that do all these things more are going to generate fee discounts, revenue splits, referral revenue split. Let me explain this. You get a referral anywhere. You successfully onboard them, they trade, they do whatever, you typically make money. This is what you do with everybody. Everybody does that, right? They give you some form of a referral cut. I did things a bit different. Once you hit certain levels, not only are you going to make money off of your referrals, you're also going to get revenue share from the company split. There's no business partnership that's more solid at the foundation than this that I just established. It's meant for it to be taken out of my hands, taken out of my humanity, and completely placed on the proof is in the API. Hope that makes sense, and maybe it gives you guys a little insight.
It does. It does. But now we want your insights on the charts.
I don't even want to go and do TA today. I'm just shipping this app and busy. But guys, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it just because, it's the promise. Market cap is at 2.32 trillion. Not good. You guys know the drill. We always start there. Fear and greed's at 12. Notice how that went down? Interesting, right? The next thing is altcoin season continues to steadily go up. We were at 32. Now we're at 33. Just means the rotations are heading into alts. Fear is still really, really high. Yeah, it's low on the rating, but high. The lower, it's like pumpy dumpy. The higher that chart goes, the more pain you'll feel. The lower this number, the more pain you'll feel. So I started looking at the charts, and the one conclusion that I came up with so far is everything we kind of projected has been happening as such. So now I want to let's go to the charts that matter here. So we're gonna go to Pumpy Dumpy, and if you look at it on the weekly, and if you recall our targets that we made, look how it's still trailing to that level perfectly. Okay. Now, there still isn't any bullish momentum really that's left. Bearish momentum is potential, as you keep seeing us go to the 200s, go to the 200s, lower swing high on the 1 hour. So you got to go to the 30-minute, and you should realize, okay, they're preventing this triple cross. They're trying, but they prevented it, and now we're above the 8. Be mindful of what could happen here before you start just wanting to long, because on this chart, it does look like they want to dump it, but it looks like they're also fighting for the opposite side here. So you just got to let some of these candles happen before we can fully, set up what we want. That means on the 15-minute, we already had that bearish momentum. Sure enough, you see the triple cross already happened, and it did bring us down, but we kind of ate all that up. On the 15-minute, there's no more bearish crosses left. Now it's just bullish crosses if the 821 starts heading up. 5-minute, similar situations. What that tells me is that on the 2-hour chart, we bounced off of the 200, our levels that we originally thought we would get. And now when you look at my straight line on the weekly, right, you see on my weekly chart, you see the straight line, right? Okay, look how cool that looks on the 5-minute. Because you really get to see, that chart and what it's doing. So when you look at that line right here, let's actually zoom out a little bit more on the 30-minute chart. But check this out. This is how it's cool, because when I drew that line, look how we've been following it. It's crazy, right? That my lines kind of work out like that oftentimes. And you guys see me do them in front of y'all. So none of the showboating stuff is just Monday morning quarterback room, right? Talk about what all happened, what all went down. So no bearish momentum left on USDT Pumpy Dumpy. That's actually really good. Or I'm sorry, no bullish momentum, I meant to say. So the odds of a nice little relief rally were there. And we have gotten it. We relief rallied a bit. Now we have to really continue to see what's going to happen next. To do so, we go to the CME chart, go to the daily, let's reset, and what do you know? Bear flag confirmation. Now, if we keep formulating low, higher low, higher low, we can get out of this flag pattern and go close this gap. Now, here's the dangerous part. You can still see the flag being, even if we close that gap, because like, look at this. Is this not a bear flag? Right? So, however you look at this, doesn't mean, doesn't mean that it's just going to give you one thing. I think two things can be true on this chart. And what that's going to be, I think the gap is going to close and there's going to be continuation towards the next level down. Obviously that's what we've been talking about. Here, let me bring up Andrew and Massimo. That's what we have been, talking about. And so far it's happening to perfection. I can kind of see something like when we were getting this little bear flag right here. Notice how we got the relief rally to go close all those gaps, right? Like if you look at this chart like this, kind of like it's similar to where we're at now, right? It was still bear flagging, right? But it went right to the gap 2-3 times and then closed it and then dumped, went back up one last time. But you see, even if you look at it from this angle, this is still a freaking flag, right? So you still got the drop off. It's still there. You just got to be very, very mindful of it. Now, with the CME having a gap to the upside, I've been able to long every one of these pops whenever you confirm that it's a higher low. It's an easy long. Now, where to take profits? Obviously, at that point, you always look at EMAs, right? You look at the 8 for profit, right? Look at that, 2 times. After catching along, you could have exited out on the 8 EMA. Twice, heck, 3 times, because even on this relief rally, we made it right to the 8 EMA, right? So the bear flag's still there. Bullish momentum, there's not too much of it left. There actually isn't any left. So now what we're looking at is this. The 5-day, which is also the weekly for the CME, across the board is looking nasty on many charts. Here we're holding on to the 200, but the 8 is getting closer and closer. 21 and 50 starting to head towards the downside, right? So we're going to go to futures on Binance so we can look at what that 3 and 5-day chart are telling us. We're going to look at 3-day because the 5-day is the weekly. This chart never closes, so it's going to look different on those time frames. But anyways, the 3-day, notice how I was able to jump right there. The 50 is about to cross under the 200. Last time we got the 8 under the 200, I talked about it here. We're going to get a big old dump, not before a fake out rally.
Clutch?
On the 3-day, you have it'll be closed at the end of today.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't see that for a second. Now I can see. My bad.
Yeah, no, you're good. But this is why it matters. So that 3-day 50 heading under the 200 is a big deal. And I think that's going to bring us this next leg. When this candle closes today, we may not get that violent move. Massimo said, he expects to see another liquidation day like today. Well, Massimo, you're not too far off base. Why? Because of that 3-day cross that at the end of the candle today, the averages are going to rebalance. And you should see that thing be right at the cross, if not completely cross it. It's getting to the point where it's hard to ignore that there's still bearish momentum on big time frames. The most dangerous part about that is we have a low, higher low, lower. Okay, let's start here. Bear market low, higher low, initial bull market breakout, higher low, retest higher low, right? So then you had the continuation higher low, and then you had, the, hey, double top here, but it is a higher low, so there should be another leg. We did get it. We started taking profits all across there. And then I just kept identifying, okay, this low is now lower than like these, right? So, okay, initial downtrend confirmed. So now as you're heading here, right, this is a low that's higher than here, but we broke it. So now this low completely wiped out all these. And now you're really looking at the macro. And to do so, you got to go to the monthly so you can really start establishing, okay, what's up? So you got the low, you got the low, the higher low, breakout rejection came right back towards the 50 EMA on the monthly for Bitcoin. So now the tail is going to be this 50. If we lose this 50, we're heading down here and it'll completely start a new sequence, just like when we went here and we just started a new sequence. I can see that being the case here as what you're starting to see across these charts. The 3-day looks nasty for Bitcoin. Now on Solana, Solana's been front running. The 3 and 5-day has already given us all the crosses. You see, the 3-day. 5-day, we have the 50 that's coming up, but you'll start noticing how front running of the rest of the market this chart is doing. It is holding on, but bear market woes for sure. Bear flag loading up here, and in the same breakdown that I did with Bitcoin, you are now seeing those lows eviscerated, right? Because you had all this up action with, even like this little pocket here, right? It was a higher low. The gross part about it is now with this low, you are literally banking on the fact that it is higher than this low. Now, the nastiness there is that that low right here has not been tested ever since we broke out. There is so much untested levels in liquidity, so I can see a $40 to $50 Solana almost imminent. And at that point, I wouldn't be surprised as you could just tell by the whole totality of the chart. It's heading towards those lows if this low's not going to be the true bottom. Don't feel like a bottom when you still have the 50 crossing. If you go to the weekly, you start seeing the devastation that's incoming. The 8 and 12 already crossed. Now we have the 21 and 50. More bearish momentum is left on Solana, but it's front running it. Look at Ethereum's weekly. It's going to look a bit different, right? You notice the 8 crossed, yes, but the 21 and 50 are still relatively high. The weekly was green on Ethereum, a little doji candle a couple days ago, and I said, don't fall for it. Sure enough, right? Don't fall for it. It's liquidity grab season. Now, the interesting part about what I was saying about the swings, bear market, bull market, all that stuff, here's where it gets interesting because you have, the previous bear market for Ethereum, and you are going right through the motions. Higher low, right? Higher low, higher low. You could get a straight line and just kind of get your little trend that Ethereum's on. The issue that Ethereum is showing us, this is too perfectly structured. If we break concept here, where's Ethereum going? No real low for Ethereum other than in the $300 range over here. Now, most of you Ethereum lovers are going to hate me when I say this, but when we broke out right here, we never tested this area. We never tested this area. Okay. That looks weird. Like a little spaceship. But anyways, we never tested that area. So to me, I expect to see something like that for Ethereum. Especially if Bitcoin's going to retrace and head towards 40K. Why would this frickin' vaporware trash not lose 1,000? It's already lost 2,000 with Bitcoin still being in the 60s. I know. Pathetic and embarrassing for Ethereum. But hey, what else is new? been warning y'all about this freaking trash vaporware forever. Solana, Ethereum front running, Bitcoin saying, dude, we got to grab as much liquidity as possible. So these sell downs are slower, sell downs are faster everywhere else. USDT pumpy dumpy is showing us nothing. There is no bullish or bearish momentum left. It is now just on consolidating, trading sideways, and let the market decide what direction is going to go. But if you follow my strategic thinking, and I've been trying to break it down for y'all, I definitely sniff out one last leg with pullback and last bit of legs a couple times here. I can definitely see 1 to 3 more nukes happen, which will kind of confirm this little time frame could take 6 months or so, a year. So it won't happen quick, but just know we're nowhere, no stretch of the imagination. Are we in a healthy market? Are we in a market where we know for sure the bottom is in? If you time the bottom here, if you think this is the bottom, it gave you 3 bottoms, actually 4 bottoms, before we fully cascaded and nuked. So understand these charts and you'll understand protection of your portfolio, and you'll start really knowing how to get, max value out of dumps and pumps, and how to max accumulate and continue to scalp to be living your best life. I personally, look at this. I completely disregarded everything in my life outside of the normal stuff. Wife, kids, my dad, blah, 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 you name it. Basic stuff. What I'm talking about, financially, able to completely stop doing everything and only focus on building an app and building something for your future, for your business. That's the type of financial freedom that I want everyone to truly achieve. Not that I don't need money. You'll always need money, no matter what. With kids, they're growing, sports, especially if they're good. Like, money is something, cost of living never goes away, no matter where you're at. But to be able to do it by clicking a few buttons and doing it through like this TA, I can honestly tell you it's my life's toughest journey to date. I look at learning trading tougher than being a dad. It's been tougher than being a husband. The only thing tougher than being a trader for me in my life has been not turning into a freaking criminal. Andrew, that's hard. I start seeing the ghetto and it starts coming out of me, dude. I have to, repent daily, die to myself daily, and really reach out to the Lord and say, Lord, do not let me become a criminal like all these other criminals in the space. All I do want to say, guys, is trading has changed my life for the better. It has allowed me to learn many trades, many traits, many different, just things that can be super, super valuable for generations to come. Not just for me, but for my kids, my kids' kids. We now will never have to pay someone to build an app in my family because I know how to do it. It's amazing when you sit and take it all in and understand that trading made all this possible for me. This is why I'm so passionate about the charts, passionate about the topics, and passionate about Novex. Trading is real. Winning traders is usually an illusion. We're trying to change that. We want everybody around us to be a winner. But what's up, everybody? Anybody else got anything else? That's your that's the TA for the day. Mic check? No, nobody. Okay.
No more TA. No.
Salad.
But Trump was talking about he had another plan. Now he's failed with it.
Yeah, Trump has another plan. It's called frickin' take over the country when he's supposed to give it up. He won't. He'll keep it.
Mm-hmm.
He'll cause a war. I'll see you on World War III. Nah, who knows? Maybe. What do you think about all this, Andrew? Like, Trump's pivoting and stuff. Trump never pivots. Why is he pivoting? This shows that his power's
As far as
running
the
down.
tariffs,
Yeah.
as far as the tariffs,
Yes.
well, I mean, he doesn't really have a choice. The Supreme Court, they're the Supreme Court.
No, I get that, but
Um,
that's my point. When's the last time you've seen Trump have to pivot?
yeah, I mean, I get that, but it was really just it's a procedural thing. He's still gonna get what he wants at the end of the day. Kavanaugh laid out how to do it in his dissent. It's really he just lays out, or they go down one of the different routes for tariffs. It'd be like, like imagine if you worked at a company and you're like, all right, I need to get these supplies for my division, and it's supposed to be like compute. You're getting computers, but instead of tech, you check the box for or something else, right? You checked it for food or something, and so they don't approve it in the budget. It's really something like that. I don't think anything really changes. To be real, I think it's just Democrats being crybabies, and yeah, they pointed out where it was technically wrong, but in the past, everybody would have probably just looked the other way because they just knew, hey, the president has the power to do this.
Right.
So that's what I think.
I see it for sure. I see your point.
I think that we probably get a little pump, kind of how we're seeing in the charts. Yeah, there should be a relief rally to try to stop these upcoming crosses that we kind of know aren't realistic stopping. But I just think it's kind of use the news to take it there, and then take it on. And then when it's like when Trump officially announces what in the next probably 48 hours, 72 hours, oh well, here's how we're going to go about tariffs, and we're 100% positive that it's legal. They'll take it all back and then some. So I don't know. I think kind of where you've been at for the past week really is like the target's probably the 200 EMA on the 2 hour. It's just the top. It looks like it'll meet it at the top of that resistance, and then that just lines up with the FA lining up with the TA. So it's just another nothing burger. I think it's just kind of we'll see the volatility for sure. I mean, you've seen a few liquidation candles on this episode.
Right. Yeah, it's just cooking. Anybody else got a take they want to add here? Hello.
No, but we got some poker going on over the weekend, or
Yeah, we got a cash game going on today, and what time is the cash game going to be at, Andrew? All right.
The cash that we're gonna roll at 8 p.m. Eastern. So 50-cent $1 blinds, 50-cent to I'm sorry, $50 to $100 buy-in, and we'll have some giveaways. So come rep your community. DM me for the pass.
I know you already have a couple people that have confirmed they're going to show up, right?
Yeah, we got the homie Saucy, and then a few other communities and it's people that have been around us.
The homie Saucy. I like Saucy.
Such as homie.
That's I almost dropped the N-word, bro. Stop it. Don't you always get the worst out of me. That's my nigga. All right. Should we do a little
Monica
app
Saucy,
update?
that's his name.
Monica Saucy, yeah. Should we go do a little bit of an app overview?
Yeah,
would you guys like to see that? Okay.
show it to me.
Show it to me. Show it. Okay, hold on. I gotta add the site quest. Boom. Okay, so we got somebody else coming up here. Who is that? Oh, that's Alexis. Novex. Okay. Replace it with the quest. All right, here we go. You guys are seeing my screen, right? Okay.
Yeah, we got it.
So, right. So here's one of the works that I need to work on. So here, your status, the reason why this shows that, Hermit, what he was talking about, just like jargon that doesn't mean anything, doesn't say anything. Anyways, this is supposed to be pulling data to pull your status. So I'll fix this. This should be showing what your like tier is. If you're a trader, if you're a pro, if you're well, whatever. This is going to start showing your active chart, like of your NXP history. This, notice how it says yes to line to logged in. So that means it already has me logged in. But this here, once you logged in, it's supposed to or not disconnect, disappear and show your address there connected. So that's a step that I missed. Again, I'm learning how to do apps and workflows. There's like literally a workflow for everything, like even to make buttons disappear. Like, look, this one's cool that I did. Welcome to Novex Quest, your NXP tiers, blah, blah, blah. Look at this. Bam. So all I got to do is something like that to where when you click it, it'll make this button disappear and then it'll reveal who's connected. Eventually, I'm going to make it to where you can create profiles. You know, you can name yourself Clutch, right? Like for me, and then up here, once the Connect wallet disappears, they'll say Clutch or whatever your profile name is, right? It's pretty tight. So yeah, so one little mistake there. I got to fix that. So that's why I wanted to do this. You know, from here, I did fix showing your active wallet, showing your active perks, showing any active referrals. You know, this is what that's going to fix. This here, this is an extension of this, so I just need to make that window smaller so then it fits in there. See, little aesthetic mistakes just because I'm not a professional, you know, when it comes to the aesthetic parts of web development. Anyways, so now from dashboard, you go to Quest. All these are going to light up, highlight once you've done them. So you won't even have to click or do any of that. You know, here for filter quest, you will be able to eventually filter it. But if they're all on there, I don't know what's the point of filtering. So I might just remove this whole bar, this whole section altogether. Any thoughts on that? What do you think, Andrew? Removing the search quest bar. We don't have that many quests where one day when you have 1,000 quests and there's too many here, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's that many quite yet, but I mean, you probably don't got to remove it just because we'll probably get there eventually.
Well, hide it. Just remove it from the front end. So what you guys see.
Oh, okay, yeah.
On the back end, I can just keep it there to the day that I need it, because then I have to put all the categories, you know, exchange all these, you know. But you notice how there's just so much. All the NXP where it says XP has been updated. I don't think I found one. If you find one that says XP, please let me know. Total NXP you can earn per day is 51. By doing 10K volume, you'll then be able to do the 25K volume without any requirements. But you cannot unlock the third one, which is 50K volume, unless your win rate is 10%. And instead of doing a position of 10%, Andrew, there's a lot of people that can fake it. If they're supposed to turn in one trade with 10% profit, well, they can do 20 trades, lose 19, and then just show the good one. That's not what I want. You know what I'm saying? I don't want a profitable trade. I want a profitable trader. We don't want any trader to lose. Not one. Not a single one. A losing trader does not make Novex any extra money. Your liquidation is not my celebration. So therefore, the subtle little differences that I've done, Andrew, and I didn't even tell you guys, call this the tokenomics of sorts. But you now have to maintain more than 10% of your positions must be in a winning situation in order for you to unlock that fourth daily. You cannot unlock the fourth daily unless you maintain a 15%. And I made these low. This should have honestly been 20%, 30%, 40, 50%. Like, hey, you can't get to the million volume unless half of your positions are in profit. I don't want you to do a bunch of volume and just keep losing. So this is what makes Novex special. This is a skill competition of sorts. I'm going to have a lot of competitions with these dailies and what one can do, but these are going to highlight when you complete them. I'm going to make it easy so you don't have to sit here and claim. Because what if you don't claim in time? I don't want that to be the case. Badges. These are one-time badges you earn. Your first trade is going to light up your 1K club when you put in 1K volume, when you do 10K volume, 100K volume, 1 mil, and then maintaining a positive all-time P&L will give you this badge. If you don't maintain a positive all-time P&L, you're going to lose this badge and lose this XP. Master Quest. These are totality ones, like total volume. Notice how the XP numbers get higher here than the 51 XP that you can earn for dailies. I made XP really exclusive. For example, the most expensive ones that where you can get a lot of XP is this 1000 one. This one here requires for you to complete the daily 90 times. You have to do, oh well, that's actually the 1500 one. That's not even the most expensive. I gave the 1000. That's the other one. The quarterly beast is to do 90 days where you completed all 7 dailies, all 7. Right? The other 1000 one was right here, which was getting to 100 mil volume. Right? A lot of people, this will probably take you a year. You can't just steal NXP. You can't just farm NXP without being a good trader. This is what all these quests have to do. So enjoy. The tiers, I dialed it in. Your tier is going to be showing up here and it's going to highlight this bar, shows you your percentage meter, blah, blah, blah. But look at the tiers. You start off as rookie right when you log on. You then go to a trader after your first trade. You start getting fee discounts immediately. Little multiplier on your XP, 1.1 ratio. So say you earn 100 XP, you're going to get 110 XP by being a trader. That's your bonus. On the same token, if you're sensei, our best range, you're at 2.5. So every time you earn the 51 for the daily, right? Every time you earn these 51 XP, 51 XP, right? All these, right? Multiply that by 2.5. So the math is set up there for you to earn it with your tiers, right? There's pro, there's whale, there's elite, there's legend, there's a master, and then there's the sensei. 2.5 multiplier. A 2 on your boosted perks, which I will be announcing those things soon enough. You will be getting 0.2% discount on all your fees. Again, this is all before the multipliers. So these numbers all will go higher. Okay. This will give you your current tier. It'll show up here. And then you'll have your discount, your multiplier, and what your boosted perks are. Your tier history here will show all the different tiers that you've done. So just kind of giving you an idea of what you're bound to see. On profile, look, Andrew, I already did it to where you see how it's logged in and it says yes. This should be logged in and show my wallet because I've already logged in. Pretty freaking sweet. And you can set up eventually notifications, and I'm going to be able to do it to like it could send you noties on the app, emails, things like that. So we'll figure that out. And again, just more stats that you already have everywhere else. From the profiles page, you can go to the tiers page just by clicking on all tiers there. Notice how smooth and easy all this is. You can compare your quest, go to your quest. You go to referrals. This is going to show all your referral information, their history, how much volume have they done? There's just going to be a lot of data that starts populating as you start, doing all this. And then obviously this kind of gives you the juice, right? How to earn. You'll be able to show your QR code here once we there's no QR codes populated there, but that's because once you're able to populate your ref code and get your link, you'll be able to just have a QR as well. So a lot of cool little features that I'm starting to throw in there, and we're getting there, guys. But this is the app. A lot of little things that can still be better and fixable, but this reads. I know it doesn't show that you're connected, but it's tracking everything. Just to kind of give you guys a little some. Show you my dashboard that I've created. Give me a second. I'm logging in and then I'll screen share. Okay. So if you look on the interface, check this out. And this is Clutch that I've created on Twin, who's supposed to be, me. So it's going to give me status of all the trades. So check this out. Here comes a full report. You guys see this? Has the lifetime volume. This has been tracking.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I already have the full dashboard and I just have to, but this tells you the highest tier is pro right now that someone's made. I would have already had higher because look, I can already see one of my wallets, but I would have been already higher. But the funny part is I traded on 4 or 5 wallets. So the interesting part is going to be now you really just want to have one person, one person, one account that you would want to trade. I created a dashboard for this before and it didn't save. So let me have it create a nice little dashboard. But look at this. This really tells you all the key stats. Look at our highest win rate, guys. Andrew, 173. Okay. Look at the percentage.
I wouldn't even believe that if somebody told me that.
Listen, that's because I'm that good, bro. People don't believe me, but now when they see my badges and my stats, no more hiding wallets, like all that stuff is not going to matter. I'm only going to trade on one wallet. I was just trading on numerous wallets to help our wallet count and all that. But dude, I've been cooking, bro. I've only missed 2 trades negative on Novex since it started. I've only lost 2 trades. One of them I closed for a break even because I got scared. I got shaken out. And I would have lost a lot of money if I stayed in that trade. But with fees and everything, I lost $100 freaking dollars. It was a $500 position. The next trade that I've lost on Novex, Andrew, I DCA'd out negative. I was down 400% on one baby bullet, Andrew. Okay. It's like I fired like $90. Bro, I was down like $400. I'm like, what the fudge happened? I'm in a short. Oh my goodness. Da, 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 da. Bro, I DCA'd heavy on the dump. It got down to where I was only negative 30%. I DCA'd out most of my trade in negative profit. So, I realized the unrealized loss. So this type of stats that I'm working on and what we're going to have is going to gamify this so much. Okay, dude, I got a lot of work to do. But just so you guys know, I'm freaking cooking on the background. In case you've wondered, right, what truly is going on, man, I'm working my ass off. And I appreciate those that are trading nonstop. Massimo, You've been, he's not here, but he's been trading, and just there's a few traders that are trading nonstop. And the reality here is this app is going to help make trading legends, trading senseis. And the more you trade with us, the more you're going to earn from the very same money you're generating. You're generating money for Novex, where you're going to get a big chunk of it. Anyone that hits the sensei level unlocks all kinds of crazy perks that I haven't released yet. But here is one perk. I'll give you guys one bit of information, one alpha release. And I said this last trade talk. But once you hit sensei and master, the last two tiers, not only are you going to earn money off of your referrals, you're going to earn money off of all of their revenue as well. So if they made $1, let's say you get 20 cents of that. Out of that 80 cents, when you hit those two tiers, and again, I'm just throwing up numbers, I haven't released the full specifics, but of that 80 cents that you made the company because of your referral, you're going to get a cut of that as well. So now your referrals are making you money just from fees, and they're making you, value off of revenue. I don't know anybody else that's really doing it the way I'm doing it. And that's crazy, right? Because it's just me. I'm just a regular. I'm a nobody. But I care about people. This Quest app is for winning traders. If you're a losing trader, don't even download it. Stop. Take a step back. Go learn. Go get inside telegrams and put in the work needed to get to the point where you need to be good. Show up to our shows. This app is for traders that want to win, that want to become profitable, that want to become consistent. But most importantly, it's there for people that actually want to be traders. No more of this LARPing, no more of this calls and long here, short there, and then disappear when the move goes the other way. No more of that. Eventually, I can also release a social quest where people can follow you from Novex Quest, right? They can follow your profile. Once I create profiles and you have all that dialed in, people can follow and track your wallet and get alerted anytime you enter a trade. I'm working on some pretty cool stuff, copy trading features and things like that. But before we even go into copy trading and all those features, I'm releasing a strategy vault. You guys know my strategy, 21 to the 200 back to the 21. It's literally been what I've been doing forever. I'm launching a bot that's going to trade for me, so I don't have to trade. It's my strategy, my everything, but I just don't want to be stuck on the screen constantly trading. So I'm releasing this bot that's going to then become a strategy vault for anybody that says, oh, well, I can't trade this week. I'm working a lot. Cool. You can deposit into that strategy vault. I haven't even told you this, Andrew or team, but what do you guys think about that? I'm already coding that.
It's an awesome idea.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty sweet, huh? Not bad for a Mexican. I barely read English. I can barely read English. And I built us an app. Bro, I can hardly speak the language. Andrew. See? ¿Qué pasa? Tomorrow, ahorita? Tamales, champorado? Pozole? Salsa? Arriba? That's all I know. I just gave y'all half of my vocabulary right there. But here's what I do know. Green, 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 green. Profit, 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 profit. Close, close, close. Ah, high leverage, high leverage. Ah, abort, abort. That's the fun language. Hope you're enjoying this journey, guys. I sure as heck am. I don't even know where the heck I'm learning how to do so much of this stuff, but my goodness, I can now build us anything. Truly. Dude. Clutch the devs. Anybody else has anything? so I can wrap us up, play the song, close the stream. Nothing? No? Good? Okay. Sounds good. All right, guys. Well, as you know, you could have been anywhere else, but you chose to vibe with us. And that matters. That matters a lot. Why? Because you are the motivators. You are the ones that assure that we keep showing up day after day. So thank you so much as we continue to navigate these murky waters, this nasty state of the economy and the world's financial system. Ride these waves with us as we continue to mass accumulate value, worth, and knowledge. We're going to get better. We are so deep into the forest that they can't even find us, baby. Let's go.
Deep in the pines, no Wi-Fi, just vines. Charts spread out, Fibonacci designs. CME gaps like ghosts in the mist. Candles burn slow, every wick got a twist. Solitude, silence, he carves out the play. Bear bully dances, no steps go astray. Alpha moves sharp like a hawk on the prowl. Numbers don't lie, he's the wolf with the howl. Clutch in the shadows, move so divine. Forest in the market, both intertwined. Catching that green while the trees sway fine. Legend on the charts, his name's a shrine. Heard the wind whisper, shorted along. Wrote a sonnet and leverage a charting song. Green candles sprout like moss on the bark. Red candles drip like blood after dark. Hedge fund whispers, they envy his grit. Trend lines obey when his cursor's lit. No discord noise, just the owl's debate. He swings like a pendulum, never too late. Monotone scatter, his trades leave a trace. Charts in his mind, no screen to replace. Cold air bites, but the profits stay warm. Market storms rage, he thrives in the